So DeFi was pretty much created out of the understanding that there are larger sections of society that do not have access to the education system, which is currently what allows you to have access to opportunities in life. So especially from the part of the world where we come from, there is already enough data that proves that people who are below the poverty line, who come from marginalized sections, have no access to the education systems that can give them better opportunities, or have been given access to really bad system of it and really bad quality system that exists. So the idea really was to then say that can we create a system for them that is led by them, that is owned by them, and pretty much gives them the same leveling field like anybody else. But also with tenets of what was the system meant to do. Was the system really meant to provide everybody an equity and an equitable ground to play on? Or was the system initially also created to create class structures and to keep doing those? So therefore, building community blocks, going into sections of these societies and saying that, hey, what would you like to build as a learning space? And that's where DeFi really began. So one, believing that humans are absolutely innovatively creative and learning is just part of our DNA. And taking that and then putting it in the context of what does low-cost community-run spaces mean is where DeFi brings in the model of the nooks, which is really within communities, which is owned by the community, literally grounds up, brought up by the community, bringing in the component of knowledge is now freely available in most cases. It's out there on the internet, it's out there with people around you. So creating technology as an enabler and not necessarily as a tool functionality. So powering up a small space within a community with some laptops, an internet connection, and pretty much human curiosity. And then allowing these people to really figure out what is it that their life goals are, and not determining those from our privileged understanding of a very top-down approach of what cannot they accomplish. So nooks have really been able to help these people who would have otherwise have absolutely no say in the societal structure they are in, to actually able to break that cycle and to think for themselves bigger dreams than probably the system would allow them to have, even if they did end up in a system which is still traditional. So from having women who would traditionally, even within a system structure, not have access to growing enterprises, who now run their own enterprises, to school kids who dropped out of the system because it did not allow them to flourish, and those kids now really becoming science geeks and really getting curious about what science means for them. It is kind of played out in leveling the field. And I think that's what DeFi has been able to do with the communities that we are in, give them the power of deciding what, how, and why do they learn what they learn. And in a sense, really trying to democratize equity of education, which is what the traditional system does not necessarily allow for.